today. It's really dark in here, so I apologise, it's quite late. So basically this is my feedback vlog from when I did my second focus group. So let's just get into it. So for second focus group, it went really well because I got a lot of insight as to where I should go in terms of my documentary and how I should lay it out. So originally I set out it was meant to be with my person. I'm gonna say it's completely wrong. With the person who I'm really tired today. So basically I interviewed a person called Ben, and he is a therapist, and he deals with different addictions, mental health, but does it in a different way to normal therapy. So it deals with things stemming from childhood, seeing if things are linked in any way. So gambling could be linked with anxiety, things like that. So it was really interesting having that conversation with him. So that led me to sort of decide, okay, my focus group will be on my documentary will be on him talking about the different mental illnesses and things like that, and sort of how to treat them. So I set up a focus group to sort of ask about mental health, addiction, and the stigma around them, and that really was insightful as well. So that was really handy. So with that information, I did my vlog on that. I sort of just, it put me in a better position of where I wanted to go. So I needed now to do a survey and another focus group on how I'm going to lay out this documentary and what I'm going to do for it. So I've done my focus group first. I've got my survey written up now. But so I did my focus group first because I wanted to get sort of right information to tailor to write a survey, if that makes sense. So with this focus group I had Charlie, Brandon, Joe, Sam. I had quite a few people, so it was really handy. I asked them what they thought about my idea and all that, and then we ended up we had a really good discussion, and we ended up talking about his life and how his mother used to sexually abuse him and things like that, so from my original idea, we got onto the topic of him talking about his life, because it's not very boring and not structured in a certain way. It worked really well, because in my interview we spoke quite a lot, and it had that nice flow to it, so I explained that to them, and they thought it was a really good angle because of they hadn't heard some of the stuff, and they said it was also good to I'm gonna do that. What does that do? They also said because they didn't know about some things like love addiction, stuff that maybe I should ask him to talk about that as well. So rather than him timelining his life at age 13 I did this, more talk naturally about it, going how's the best way to example this, I got into therapy because from a young age I had my mother sexually abused me, so it's done in a non-linear way, basically talking about his life. In the interview it was non-linear, which is really good, and it keeps it interesting. So we also said that it would be really good if how do I explain this? It would be really good if there's a bit at the beginning of him just naturally talking off topic, so it has a good starting point rather than starting point blank. And then so that was really helpful information, because they give me a lot of useful information as to what they feel is effective for a documentary, and that's what I need. I need something that's effective. I want obviously, because my opinion obviously matters, but I want to know what other people think, because at the end of the day this is for other people. So this is where I've tailored my survey as well, as in what angles, and I'll come on to that. So yeah, so I got what they said about I should have it non-linear, and that's a really good angle, because I've never tried anything like this before, so this is really, really new to me. So I'm excited to see how that's going to work, and I'm going to talk to my tutors about that as well. In regard to that, I asked them about what I should do camera wise, and they said I should have like the 2 cameras capture 2 angles and handheld, like sort of at the same time. So as he's talking, they're capturing his hand movements at the same time, so it works in sync. So all the close-ups and like off shots that I put in, like they work naturally with the documentary, and they're not like stupid or like unnecessary. So that works really well. So for that is sort of, it led me with my with my survey to ask people sort of like what angles they feel is like really good, what they think is most effective, like what kind of music they think, and it's just sort of getting that base for a documentary about a more wider scale. So with my focus group, that's the more in-depth view. This is just a more sort of general public, what they think. So when I get enough responses, I think I'm gonna look at that in a couple of weeks. Just make sure I've got enough responses, I can sit and talk about that as well. So I think I'm in a good position at the moment. But yeah, can't talk for a second. Yeah, but because of like this focus group, it's definitely changed what I'm now going to do for my documentary. I was just going to talk about just the mental health and addiction. It's now going to be both. Yeah, it's now going to be. It's now going to be him non-linear talking about his life.